In the meantime, guys, we're going to get started the game in Yueyang. I've been starting streams with Fletcher, and then a few weeks ago I started with a ranked game in Gearing, which ended up surprisingly working well. And tonight I've decided I'm just going to play Yueyang. I play Radar Yueyang with unique upgrade module, which means that I have a higher detection, 6.5 detection, with a 7.5 kilometer radar, but all buffed up. My gun reload is 2.8 seconds. So I play this ship as a cap contester and a destroyer assassin. Now, to some extent, that's going to rely a little on my team to help me out because it is only 6-on-6. But with a Vampire Deuce on my team, I feel really good about my chances. So we're going to see how this goes. The drink of the night, guys, I apologize. I did not fix the drink recipe this evening. I'll do that in between games. I'm trying something that my chat recommended, or at least with chat mentioned to me. I think it was Mythic. It was Mythic, I think. Let me go check.
I always said if there's a way to
No,
go,
it was who is this?
Women, whips, and oil.
Who is that? I don't know. I don't know what his Twitch name is. One of my regulars over on Discord posted a snippet from a book about a drink that Chester Nimitz used to fix. And I was like, okay, what is it? And it was his variant of an old-fashioned. So he started with a sugar cube, a dash of Angostura bitters, just enough hot water to melt the sugar cube. And then he would add, it's not crushed ice, but like ice, like chunks of ice, not like the big cube, but like chunked ice, right? And then 2 ounces of bourbon, and then an ounce of rum. And apparently he called it a sink pack. So I have built that, essentially. Instead of doing melted sugar cube, I just used simple syrup, Angostura bitters. This is Elijah Craig, and a little bit of the Flor de Caña light rum that I had on the shelf. And just one of my giant ice cubes, just because I didn't want to use the smaller ice. That is potent, kids, let me tell you. That is potent, but tasty. Like, it's definitely sweeter than old-fashioned. As you would expect, between the sugar and the rum, it is definitely sweeter. But it is nice. I'll update the... Abyss Classic, that was it. Anyway, about 10 minutes before the stream, I was like, I meant to try that, so I'm trying it. So yeah, I'll update everything in the bot command in between games here. I guess I should kind of focus on the game since we're starting to get probably where we're going to be engaging something. All right, Vampire Deuce is up here with me. Between his hydro and my radar, we ought to absolutely annihilate any destroyer that comes over here. Like, we should just ruin them.
To Jurassic Park.
Who was that? Scooby with the follow. Thank you much. All right, let's see. I want to swing a little wide. I'm going to sit in here and help him cap just a little quicker. I'll throw this guy some deep waters here in a minute. There we go. I'm lit. That's fine. Hey, what up? No, Kirk, I didn't say you could get away.
Can't leave my ride behind.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you take Radar Yueyang. All right, let's go ruin this Montana's day. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's a secondary Montana. He's only going to get one rack for now. I am not going to give him both racks just yet. We're going to get over here. We've got a little island cover. There we go. Wait a minute. Somebody can still spot me? That's curious. Who can spot me? It's the Shima. The Shima can still spot me. How interesting. Who was that? Stag, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. He's going to take at least one or two of those torps, I'm pretty sure. Looks like he's going to take one in the bow. Or one amidships. Now one in the bow. That's fine. And a flood. Is he flooding? He is still flooding.
Oh,
Yep.
got such good gas mileage.
Really want to get a fire on this clown. There we go. Took a while, but we got there in the end. Looks like he put the flood out. Maybe? I'm ticking up something, so I don't know if he put the flood out or not. You know, sometimes these American guns are awful, and sometimes these American guns are absolutely fracking hilarious. And right now I'm going with pure hilarity, because that guy's dead. Well, looking up now, it would seem that we have annihilated the enemy team. Yeah, so Altador, these are, it's the same 5-inch 38 that the Americans get, basically starting with, like, what is it, Mahan or Farragut? I forget. But these are in double barrels. These are in a double-barreled turret, whereas Fletcher's and, like, Benson are all single-barreled turrets. I don't know why Muldoon is busy talking twice. That's really irritating. Well, we've never seen the Shimakaze, but we know he's over here because I kept getting spotted while I was shooting. So let's go see if we can find him and murder him. He's on this flank somewhere. Team can go do whatever they're going to do. I'm playing defense at A because I know the Shim is over here. And oh, hello. Hello, Gearing. Apologies, I thought it was the Shima.
Our victory is in sight.
That guy got wrecked. It is the Shima. The Shima is over here somewhere. That fire is hosing him right now because he's lit. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, then I now have no idea where the Shima is. I thought the Shima was over here, but apparently not. Apparently it was that Gearing that was spotting everybody. So I don't know where this guy is now. We're going to win in 60 seconds anyway. Does this game run well on crappy setups? That's a good question, Brown. It depends on what your definition of crappy setup is. Warships in general is not that resource intensive. You can turn, like, the game is gorgeous if you want it to be, but you can turn the settings down and still play very effectively. G3. Okay, so he's south somewhere. Okay, so the Shim is like down south. Okay, whatever. We win in 30 seconds. But we'll go hunt him.
Can't leave my ride behind.
Honestly, you ought to be able to play this game with just about anything shy of an absolute potato setup, right? I mean, the game launched in 2015. Hardware's come a long way, but the game is, they keep adding and upping the ability to make the graphics look good, but the bottom line is that it's not necessary to have a fancy machine to run the game. What's up, Grunty? That is surprisingly good. The bourbon and the rum mix better than I thought. That's nice. It really is a sweeter old-fashioned. And a lot more potent. I mean, there's another 50% more alcohol in that, right? Nice game. I think Radar Yang is incredibly underrated in this format. Personal opinion. I keep running across teams with a ton of battleships, and I've had ranked games with like no destroyers in them at all. But one of the things that I think ultimately for me sells Radar Yang to me is what's the biggest drawback to playing a Pan-Asian destroyer is your torpedoes can't hit opposing destroyers. Okay, so in theory then, you are a little weaker against opposing destroyers than they are against you. But that radar makes a bit of an equalizer. Now, it doesn't make all things equal, but it closes the gap pretty significantly, in my opinion. I mean, look what we did that poor Holland, especially when you're teamed up with teammates in a ranked setting who know to shoot at what you're shooting at, right? That Vampire Deuce and I going together to the ACAP was like the perfect combo between his hydro, smoke, my radar. Like, any destroyer we ran into was probably dead. And sure enough, we got that Holland. So there you go. That makes sense, Grunty. If honestly, it's a good point. If I was playing this in randoms, I probably would play torpedo spec. That's honestly, you're headed where I would probably do it. But in ranked, I play gun spec because for me, it's playing a Radar Yang in ranked is the same idea as playing a radar cruiser. You're there to assassinate a destroyer. You're there to get a destroyer off the board, get that cap advantage, and ruthlessly exploit it as best you can. In that instance, I want the gun reload.